यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनतीरा यशोदानन्दन व्रज बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय ललिता विशाख जय राधे श्याम ललिता विशाख जय राधे श्याम जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भगवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, the Samam Bonam, Chapter 88, Lord Shiva saved from Vrikasura, text number 30. Yadi naha shravanayalam yushmad vyavasitam vibho bhanyatam prayashah pumbhir धृतः स्वार्थान् समीहते। यदि नः श्रवणायालं युष्मद्व्यवसितं विभो भन्यतां प्रायशः पुंभिर्धृतः स्वार्थान् समीहते। यदि नः श्रवणायालं युष्मद्व्यवसितं विभो भन्यतां प्रायशः पुंभिर्धृतः स्वार्थान् समीहते। यदि नः श्रवणायालं युष्मद्व्यवसितं विभो भन्यतां प्रायशः पुंभिर्धृतः स्वार्थान् समीहते। यदि नः श्रवणायालं युष्मद्व्यवसितं विभो भन्यतां प्रायशः पुंभिर्धृतः धृतः स्वार्थान् समीहते। यदि नः श्रवणायालं युष्मद्व्यवसितं विभो वन्यतां प्रयशः पुंभिर्धृतः स्वार्थान् समीहते। यदि नः श्रवणायालं युष्मद्व्यवसितं विभो वन्यतां प्रयशः पुंभिर्धृतः स्वार्थान् समीहते। माताजी। यदि न श्रवणायालं युष्मद्व्यवसितं विभो वन्यतां प्रायशः पुंभिर्धृतः स्वार्थान् समीहते। यदि न श्रवणायालं युष्मद्व्यवसितं विभो वन्यतां प्रायशः पुंभिर्धृतः स्वार्थान् समीहते। यदि नः श्रवणायालं युष्मद्व्यवसितं विभो वन्यतां प्रायशः पुंभिर्धृतः स्वार्थान् समीहते। यदि if nah our shravanaya for the hearing alam suitable yushmat your vyavasitam intention vibho O powerful one bhanyatam please tell prayashaha usually pumbhihi with persons dhritahe taken help of swa one's own arthan purposes samihate one accomplishes. Translation and purport by disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. O mighty one, please tell us what you intend to do if we are qualified to hear it. Usually, one accomplishes his purposes by taking help from others. Please repeat. O mighty one, please tell us what you intend to do if we are qualified to hear it. Usually one accomplishes his purposes by taking help from others. Purport. Even an envious demon will not refuse the help of a Brahmana's potency to gain his ends. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Visabdale Shrimade Gopa Krishna Goswamiti Namne Prabhupadasya Sahitam Ya Prakasamatiircha Pacharam Kitvan Sadhu Bhavat Padaya Dinam Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine. Translation once again. O Mighty One, please tell us what you intend to do, if we are qualified to hear it. Usually, one accomplishes his purposes by taking help from others. Hare Krishna, everyone. It's so wonderful to be in Vrindavan. I guess most of you live here, very, very fortunate souls. But due to mercy of Srimati Radharani, I also got the opportunity. So in this chapter we see how Lord Narayan saves from Vrikasura Lord Shiva. The difference is that Vrikasura was a very envious demon, whereas Lord Shiva, very, very compassionate. Vrikasura, because he was so attached to his body that he wanted to become very powerful so that he could rule and he could do whatever he wanted to do. And so he approached Narad Muni and inquired from him, who is the one out of the three, that is Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, who can be very easily pleased? And Narad Muni suggested Lord Shiva. So Vrikasura, he went to Kedarnath to perform austerities. And what kind of austerity? Very severe austerity. He offered his flesh in the fire to please Lord Shiva. It's very painful. Now, have you ever tried to peel your skin? We are not that stupid, right? To start hurting ourselves, cutting flesh from our body. But here Vrikasura was determined to get the benediction and please Lord Shiva. So, after about 6 days, when he noticed that Lord Shiva is not appearing, he was really upset. So he decided to commit suicide, cut his head and let it fall in the fire. Now Lord Shiva, he understood that this is a foolish disciple. He's wanting something that he should not be wanting. But at the same time, he's so compassionate, he did not want Vrikasura to die. So he appeared in front of this demon and asked him, what benediction do you want? And he said, I want that whomsoever I touch with my hand on the head, that person should die immediately. Now Lord Shiva knew that giving this benediction is like giving milk to a poisonous snake. Envious people are considered to be like snakes. But because he had pleased Lord Shiva just chanted Om and gave that benediction to Vrikasura. Now Vrikasura, he started thinking, let me check if this benediction really works. Let me test it. And there was no one around except Lord Shiva. So he started walking towards Lord Shiva to place his hand on his head. Guess what? Lord Shiva fled from there. He started running, and Vrikasura behind him. It was like an Olympics race, like run, run, run. Let's see who touches the finish point first. Now he started running, and Lord Shiva went everywhere. He ran everywhere, but then finally he reached the Shweta Dweep. Take shelter of Lord Narayana. Now Lord Narayana, being the Supreme Lord, he knew everything. And so Lord Narayana disguised himself as a brahmachari student with the rod and the deer skin and prayer chanting beads and also kusha grass in his hand, and he came near Vrikasura. Now the beauty of Lord Narayan is that he knows how to charm even a demon. And so he started speaking very sweetly. Actually, speaking sweetly is an austerity. Do you agree? It's an austerity to speak sweetly. In fact, in 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains to Arjuna about the austerities of body, mind, and speech. So the austerity of speech is to always be honest and also speak in a pleasing manner so that we do not agitate the mind of others. That's an austerity. So here, Lord Narayana started speaking very sweetly to Vrikasura. He said that your body is so important. Why are you running so much? You must be so tired. Why don't you rest for a while? Now, the moment Vrikasura heard these pleasing words from Lord Narayana, immediately he wanted to surrender. He wanted to hear what Lord Narayana had to tell him. So then he told Vrikasura, why don't you just rest for a while? Now in this verse, here it is said that please tell us what you intend to do. So Lord Narayana is inquiring from him, what is your intention? And after that he says, if we are qualified to hear it. Imagine the Lord is asking the demon, if you think we are qualified to hear what you have to say. Srila Prabhupada in Srimad Bhagavatam 1st Canto Chapter 1 in one of his purports, he talks about the qualification of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Does anyone know what is the qualification of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam? Yes? Eagerness, sincerity, and someone else said something which was right. Submissiveness. When we submissively hear Srimad Bhagavatam, then we will understand the purport of this great treasure house, this knowledge. So, Srila Prabhupada explains that it's not only just coming and sitting down in the class, but being very sincere to hear what is the message being given to us from Srimad Bhagavatam. So that means not only the speaker has to be qualified to be in parampara, but the person who is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam also has to be qualified to get the full benefit of this great knowledge. So in the first canto, chapter 1, text 5 in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, submissive oral reception is necessary, which means we have to be attentive. I remember hearing in one class where after the Srimad Bhagavatam class, one person who was new to these, hearing these classes, he came up and he said, thank you, thank you, thank you. For what? He said, you cured my disease. Now, what was your disease? He said, I couldn't sleep. But when I came to Bhagavatam class, boom, I fell asleep. So there must be something really nice in Srimad Bhagavatam that helped me to fall asleep. You cured my disease. So now I know how to fall asleep. But we devotees don't do that. We devotees pay complete attention to the knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam. So also in Canto 1, Chapter 1, verse 13, Srila Prabhupada says the qualification to hear Srimad Bhagavatam also is sincerity and eagerness to hear. So here in the purport it says that even an envious demon will not refuse the help of a Brahmana's potency to gain his ends. Envious demon. Envy is very, very dangerous according to Srila Prabhupada. Because envy is, he says, it's a silent killer. Is there anything else which is a silent killer? Vaishnava Prad is a very powerful killer. Because envy, Prabhupada says, is, in fact, Giriraj Maharaj inquired from Srila Prabhupada while Srila Prabhupada was having a massage, and Giriraj Maharaj thought that he was envious. And he wanted to get rid of that envy, and he inquired from Srila Prabhupada, what should I do? And why is that envy in the heart? So Srila Prabhupada said, envy is for those people whom we don't like. If we don't like somebody, then we become envious. But he also suggested to Giriraj Maharaj that if there is envy, it should be directed towards non-devotees, not towards devotees, because then that becomes a Vaishnava Aparadh. The aparadh starts actually in the mind. Then it turns into words, and then it turns into actions. There's a very nice story in Srimad Bhagavatam about Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma's son was Marichi, one of the sons, and he had 6 sons. And one time, these 6 sons of Marichi, they saw that Lord Brahma was attracted by his own daughter and was running after her. And these 6 sons, they thought that was ridiculous, and they laughed at Lord Brahma. Just that laughing, no words, no actions, just laughing caused them punishment for 3 lifetimes. They were cursed to be born as sons of Hiranyakashipu. Now we all have heard about Hiranyakashipu, who thought that he is the Supreme Lord, that he is the ultimate controller. And he had performed a lot of austerities. So his 6 sons, they decided to perform austerity also, but to please the Supreme Lord. And that angered Hiranyakashipu. And he cursed them, his own sons, that I am God and you are trying to perform austerity for somebody else. And so they were cursed, and they came down as sons of another demon called Kalanemi. Now during that time there was the churning of the ocean, and at that time these 6 sons, they lost their lives. So that was the second punishment. And the third one was they were born as sons of Devaki and Vasudev. And what happened? As soon as they were born, they were banged on the wall and they were killed. So even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Vaishnava Aparadh is very dangerous. It is like a mad elephant who enters into the rose garden and destroys all the flowers. So we got to be very, very careful. So Srila Prabhupada says, in fact, this purport says, even an envious demon will not refuse help from a brahmachari. So Srila Prabhupada says, best is ignore the envious people. I remember in Atlanta one time, I was just outside the temple. There was a festival going on, and one Mataji walked up to me and she said, I am very envious of you. And I just couldn't understand, what did I do? I don't even know your name. But then Srila Prabhupada says, ignore. Just ignore the envious people, because the association is very, very powerful. For instance, if one associates with drunkard, then even though one does not drink, one will develop a desire to drink. The same is for smoking or meat eating or whatever sinful activity it may be. That is why devotee association is very, very important, because that helps us to progress spiritually. So here we see Vrakasura is envious and Lord Shiva is very compassionate. In this line, Srila Prabhupada tells a very nice story that there were two saintly people, and they were walking. While they were walking, they saw there was a pond, and in the pond there was a scorpion struggling to come out of the water. So one saintly person went up and put the hand to save the scorpion. As soon as the scorpion landed on the hand, what do you think happened? Got bit. Yes, got bitten by the scorpion, and so the saintly person let it go. The saintly person again tried to save the scorpion, and again the scorpion bit the saintly person. So the other one said, "What are you doing? You know the scorpion is biting you again and again, and why are you continuing to save?" And he turned around and he said, "The nature of the scorpion is to bite, but the nature of the saintly person is to save." That is why it's very, very important that we associate with saintly personalities, with advanced devotees, with Srila Prabhupada disciples, with those who have a lot of experience in Krishna consciousness. We associate with them, learn from them. I remember hearing one time that when we hear a class, then it is important that we discuss it with 3 devotees on what we heard. And what will be the result? Then we will be able to really contemplate on what we heard and put it into practice. Otherwise, goes from one ear and comes out from the other ear. So association of saintly people is very, very important, because they can help us. If we have envy in our heart, they will help us to get rid of that envy. But for that, we need to follow the process given to us by Srila Prabhupada. He's given us everything on a golden platter. All we have to do is just take it and put it into practice. He always emphasized on the strong morning program. What is a strong morning program? Mangalarti, then chanting, then Darshanarti, Guru Puja. But we forgot before that Narsingharti, Tulasi Puja, right? And then after Guru Puja, there is Bhagavatam class. And in the evening, he wants us to hear Bhagavad Gita. This is the strong program that can help us to advance spiritually. So if we follow the process, but at the same time we avoid offenses, because offenses will kill our bhakti. The offenses could be just in the mind, that, oh, I don't like that devotee, or this, or that, or whatever it may be. It may not be words or actions, but just in the mind. That also is dangerous for our spiritual life. So it's important here in this very nice verse and purport, very important points are there. First is, what is your intention? Second is, if you think we are qualified to hear what you have to say, right? And then, envious demon will not refuse the help of a Brahmana's potency to gain his ends. Why? Because demons are very attached to their body. They want to do anything and everything possible so that they can fulfill their desires. Do you know how many desires a person gets in a day? Just make a guess. Just making sure everybody is awake. Huh? 20? Any other? 50? It's called 30,000 desires every day in 24 hours. And we don't even realize it. So, the demons, they are very attached to their body and they will do anything to fulfill their desires. For them, because body is the medium by which they can get what they want. So it's just body consciousness. There was a very famous scientist, Harry Monson. Anyone heard about him, Harry Monson? Yes. He was born in Norway. But then he moved to the US and was teaching in the University of Illinois. And he did a research. He researched and found out the value of a dead body, which means no soul in there. Can anyone guess the value of a dead body? Few hundred, you're very close. It's in dollars, a little more than cents. $5.60 is the value of the dead body. But when the soul is inside the body, you cannot put a price tag on it, right? So it is the spirit soul that is more important than the body. But here we see Vrakasura, he doesn't have that knowledge and he doesn't have that consciousness. So for him, body is all in all. I, me, and mine. That's it. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains to Arjuna about the spirit soul in 22 verses. That's how important it is, the spirit soul. But here Vrakasura just wants to fulfill his desires based on his body, attached to the body. When I was working in the corporate world, in my department there was a colleague. He was only 75 years old, only. And he used to do 2 jobs. He would do overtime in this one job, work about 10 hours, and then he would go and take up another job. So one day I inquired from him, why are you, because you're getting paid so well in your first job, why are you working hard for the second job? He said, it's my desire. I have a desire, one last desire, that I want to save enough money so that I can get the membership for a golf club. I want to become a golf player. And he said, in 5 years, I would have saved enough. And then I will become a member and then I will retire and play golf. Does anyone remember what Srila Prabhupada says about golf? Yes. Exactly. They are wasting their life just to put a ball in the hole. And here, 75-year-old is struggling hard to save money so that if he lives to be 80, if he has the energy to play golf, that is called attachment to the body. So attached to the body. And same is the situation with Vrakasura, that he's only thinking about his body. And so, here Lord Narayana is tricking him with sweet words. You know, if someone is angry and comes right up to you in an angry mode, what is the best way to pacify them? Sweet words. Sweet words are very, very powerful. The same is with the Maha Mantra. It's so powerful. We may not understand the potency of the Maha Mantra, but Srila Prabhupada has given us the Maha Mantra so that we can remove the anarthas from our heart. So they are very, very powerful sound vibrations. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Maha Mantra is very, very important. That is actually our life and soul. And so it is important that when we chant attentively. Not that, there are different kinds of japa. Chanting is called japa also, right? So there are different kinds of japa. One is a driving japa, you drive and you chant. Another is social media japa, Your finger is out of the bead bag, but it is used for browsing internet, that kind of japa. What other? Gossiping japa. But the best of all is sleeping japa. You sleep while chanting. You just fall asleep. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So how do we get the benefit of chanting if there is no attention to the holy name? Srila Prabhupada was asked, what should I think of while chanting? Prabhupada said, don't think of anything. You only hear the sound vibrations, because these sound vibrations, they'll enter the heart from the ear and cleanse the heart of all anarthas. So, chanting should be very attentive. I remember in Mumbai in the 90s when I was giving Bhagavad Gita classes in my house, a family used to come and sit right in front. Unfortunately, when you sit right in front, you fall asleep also. Have you noticed that? Yes? Y'all are not sleeping. I'm just saying, in general, right in front and then falling asleep. So here this boy, his name was Vicky, he's about 8 years old. And he would sit right in front and hear very intently the class. And then when he heard the power of holy name, he said, can I please chant? I was very happy. I gave him the beads and I showed him how to chant. And so he asked me, how many rounds should I chant? I said, it's up to you. As much time you have, you can chant. So he came back the next week and he said, I chanted 16 rounds every day. 8-year-old. And I was like flying in the air, like, how come an 8-year-old is chanting 16 rounds every day? So I told him, oh, how do you find time? He said, no, in 10 minutes I finish my 16 rounds. I'm like, uh-oh, there's something wrong. I said, can you show me how you chant? So he sat in a yoga pose, took a deep breath, and he used to bring his beads. So he brought his beads and he closed his eyes and he chanted, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And I'm thinking, this should take more than 2 hours. Do you agree? This speed should take more than 2 hours. And then he said, ditto, 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 ditto. I said, hold on, what is this? He said, this is what is taught to me in school. Anything you have to repeat, don't repeat. Just say ditto, 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 and your round is done. I'm like, no. When I explained to him how it is to be chanted, he disappeared. He did not come back to the class. Attentive chanting is our life and soul. If we do not pay attention to the holy name, when we chant holy name, Srila Prabhupada says, we are calling the Supreme Lord. And when we are calling the Supreme Lord, then we got to pay attention to Him and His holy name. So Srila Prabhupada has given us everything that we need. He has given us the treasure house, his books. He went through so much trouble, so many tribulations, just to give us Krishna consciousness. So the least we can do is put it into practice as it is, which means following 4 regulative principles very strictly, chanting 16 rounds attentively, reading Srila Prabhupada's books scrutinizingly, not shur, you know, fatafat. In Hindi it's called fatafat, means quickly. No. Scrutinizingly. Associate with devotees. Preach, give this knowledge to others. So when we follow all this sincerely and seriously, then we get the mercy of Guru and Krishna. But that is an austerity. How many of us, you know, set an alarm in the morning and put it on snooze? You don't need to put your hands up. Right? We have the habit. Maybe another 15 minutes, maybe another 10 minutes. You know, I didn't get good sleep, my head is hurting, mind has so many excuses. But it's an austerity, and if we perform this austerity, it pleases Guru and Krishna. So when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, we should discuss it with 3 devotees and also try to contemplate on one question every day, which will help us, and that is why. W-H-Y. Why? Why do I have a human form? Why am I suffering? Why do I grow old? Why am I, going through so many miseries? When we start thinking about this, then we will start working more towards becoming more serious and sincere in Krishna consciousness. But for that, we need determination. We can think, what example can you think of from Srimad Bhagavatam who is the epitome of determination? Dhruva Maharaj, yes. He wanted something material, like a kingdom greater than his great-grandfather, Lord Brahma. But when he met his guru, Narad Muni, who gave him the mantra to chant, what is the mantra he gave him? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. He gave Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya to sit down and chant. And look at his austerity. In the first month, he only ate berries every 3 days. The next month, he drank water. No, he ate dry grass every 6 days. Then he drank water every 9 days, and he was breathing air every 12th day. Imagine. And then in 6 months, he had darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That doesn't mean we start doing this. 1 month we only start eating berries, then dry grass. No. Srila Prabhupada has given us prasadam. Right? Have you ever seen anyone fall asleep during prasadam? Anybody? No. Bhagavatam class? Yes. Prasadam? No. So we have the mercy of the Supreme Lord in the form of prasadam also. All we need to do is take the benefit of it. So read the books, Srila Prabhupada's books, follow the process given to us by Srila Prabhupada, and this way we will be able to become successful in our path of bhakti. The verse again, O Mighty One, please tell us what you intend to do. If we are qualified to hear it, usually one accomplishes his purposes by taking help from others. So I'll end here. If anyone has any questions or comments, you're welcome to ask.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So this is an envious demon, but he has the power to travel throughout the universe and go to Shvetadweep and even see the Lord. You would imagine that maybe a saintly mystic or some yogi who performs some austerities, but so in Bhagavatam we hear these stories. Of course they're not allegorical, they're actually genuine stories, but how do we keep the mind from thinking that it sounds a little bit extreme, or it sounds a little bit like mythology, that it's not a realistic thing?
Yes, so first of all, Srila Prabhupada says, like Rupa Goswami also says, Adau Shraddha Tatha Sadhu Sangha Bhajana Kriya Anartha Nivriti. So if we follow that step by step, like we have basic faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then we start associating with devotees and do Bhajana Kriya, perform all that is required for Bhakti Yoga, and that will help us to remove the anarthas from our heart, right? So it is, yes, it is difficult for someone who is an outsider who doesn't have at least the basic knowledge. They will think it's mythology. For them, it'll be just a story. Many times I meet people who say, oh, these are all just stories. There is no such person as Krishna, etc. But when we start associating with saintly people, then Krishna helps us from within the heart to really understand that this is not a story, it's not mythology. It is actually real. In fact, if Prabhupada says, if we go to Kurukshetra, right, we can see the place where Krishna spoke this Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, re-spoke it 5,000 years ago. So there is proof, there are places, there are, it's mentioned in the scriptures also, but to have that faith and not understand that it's just mythology, they have to associate with devotees. Then they'll be able to understand, otherwise not. Unless, of course, they have a lot of pious credit from the previous life, then, they continue from where they left off.
Thank you for the wonderful lecture, Mataji.
All
You
glories
summed
to
up
Prabhupada.
everything necessary in 30 minutes. So regarding enviousness, you made a point that enviousness should be transferred to non-devotees. I could not understand this.
Yes, this is what Srila Prabhupada told Giriraj Maharaj, that envy should be directed towards, actually he mentioned demons, not non-devotees, sorry about that. He mentioned towards demons, not towards devotees, because that would be very dangerous, because that will lead to our fall down.
And not towards non-devotees even. They are also...
Prabhupada mentioned demons. He said directed towards demons. And who are demons? Those who don't believe in Krishna.
Like all the people around us who are non-devotees, they are not demons even.
No, not all. Not all are demons. They are just not devotees. That means they haven't yet got access to the knowledge or association of devotees. So they are not demons. No.
And next point you made was ignore the envious people. And right after that, you told the story of that scorpion. So the scorpion wasn't ignored there. I could not understand these two points mixed together.
Yes. So Srila Prabhupada told this story to explain, just like the saintly person said, that the nature of scorpion is to bite. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, beings follow nature, right? Whatever their nature is, they follow. So similarly, scorpion bites, that's its nature. And whereas a saintly person is compassionate, is trying to save. So this is what comparison Srila Prabhupada was giving.
So we tolerate those bites or we ignore?
We would ignore, because here, of course, saintly person means very advanced, right? But people like us, we would rather ignore.
Thank you, Mataji.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the very nice class.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai, all glories. I just was wondering in regards to the scorpion, what if you have somebody in your life who they're critical to the devotees, and and should we use sweet words, or what is the best way to react if it's someone you have to interact with and they don't understand what you believe, and they constantly make critical remarks?
Yes, we try sweet words, and if that doesn't work, then ignore. because we don't want their association to rub off on us. We don't want whatever anartha they have, that we develop it in our hearts also. So best is to ignore. That's what Srila Prabhupada says. Ignore. Okay, so if there are no more questions or comments, thank you all so much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tai Gau Premanande, Hari Hari Bo.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yes, we all thank you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama